The Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McLean here with the one and only Andreas Ruiz with his I Am Amazing shirt.
Yes.
Not to be confused with his I Believe in Myself shirt, because he is I Believe in Myself coaching. Go to IBelieveInMyself.org today if you need motivation in your life.
Yeah, man, I feel bodacious.
You are
bodacious.
bodacious.
Oh, vibracious, or what was it? Vivacious, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bodacious. I don't even know.
Vivacious.
Vivacious.
Yeah, like it's just like a lot of pop, a lot of energy, and just a little tinge of sexy. And just it's just little touch.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
You
didn't
know,
that.
nothing that we can't talk about in church, but it's okay. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So, but this is the Common Good Radio Show, and we have another amazing episode for you. Definitely have some awesome guests like usual. And I don't know how many times I've said this over the year now, or over the year now, how good you are at getting powerhouse guests on this show.
Yeah.
Like, you're just an expert. Like, if I send Andreas a message that says, "Hey, Andreas, I need some amazing guests on the show that are really just going to knock it out of the park, that we believe in, that really fall in line with what we do," he does it every single time. And the crazy thing as well, kind of a common theme, is they're powerhouse women.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. We've had mainly women. That's like 90%
like
women.
powerhouse women that you brought on.
We've
Whether
had.
it's Dr. J, who we did the spinoff of the Making College Come True radio show that'll be on right after this show,
Nice.
or the litany of women, or the woman we have in the studio with us today,
Mhm.
in Amanda, or right this second, in All in Balance Bookkeeping, who is just, obviously we both think she's a powerhouse. We both have her doing our bookkeeping. So yeah, she's just, another amazing person. And then on the second half of the show, we have, I'll have you say her name so I don't butcher it.
Brittany Gutman, Allstate owner.
Yeah,
So,
with Allstate.
Really good people, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's almost like the female version of Ed Marquez, right? That you had on,
Something like that.
So yeah, another just like a female powerhouse. So it's super cool. And but this would not be the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission if we didn't give the grace to a father that is blessing us so much. Man, we just have so many blessings. I don't know what to do with them. Like, I have blessings falling out of my pocket. I'm walking down the street. I have to pick up my blessings, put the blessings back in my pocket. And none of it would be possible if it was for giving the grace and remembering that it was God that made it all happen for me. It wasn't my good deeds. It wasn't my left hand, my right hand. It was God working in my life to make it so that I could do that. So like we do every show, we put him first, and we start with a little prayer. And today it's going to be the Lord's Prayer, and it goes a little something like this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
So, that being said, let's go ahead and give a little goodness to the guests we have in studio today, and find out what is this All in Balance bookkeeping that they're talking about around the networking clubs. So welcome to the show, Amanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the obvious question is, what is All in Balance bookkeeping?
All in Balance Bookkeeping is a virtual full-service bookkeeping firm that I specialize in small businesses and also nonprofits. I do this because I want to create bonds with my clients. They're not just numbers. They're not just books to me. I genuinely care about all of my clients, which is why small businesses, it's easier to build personal relationships with, as well as really form the tight bonds, and they trust me to be able to give them the information that, this is where your money is going, this is where it's coming from, this is what you could do, here's your projected costs over the years, all the information. I sit down with all of my clients and give it to them. And then nonprofits, I fully believe in the majority of the nonprofits that I work with, I believe in all of their causes. I shouldn't say the majority. All of the nonprofits I work with, I believe wholeheartedly in their causes. So I like to help with that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't think that you're helping any like dog fighting rinks or anything like that. Yeah,
definitely not.
For sure. So I guess what inspired you to get started in this profession? Because definitely, I mean, I think even when we first met, that was what came to mind. Is like, okay, well, I don't even like math to start out with. So to wrap my head around people who can deal with the math is enough for me. But what would make you think to get into bookkeeping?
I would love to say that there's some inspirational story behind it, but there's really not. When I was young, in my 20s, fresh out of college, or my first attempt at going to college, I should say.
Yeah, for sure.
I was working for a local ophthalmologist and optometrist, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time, and the practice manager was on the phone with their current bookkeeper, and she said that she was quitting, and I said, well, I'll learn. And nice. That led to I was there for a decade, and then I moved on to another company doing more bookkeeping with multiple companies, different mining and sales and construction. They were all different companies under one umbrella, so that gave me more experience. And then I decided to go ahead and get my associate's degree in accounting. Nice. Even though I am not a math person. I can't stand math, but the bookkeeping math makes sense to me.
Interesting.
So. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. And so tell us, how has COVID impacted your business?
Actually, COVID is the reason I started my business.
Oh, interesting.
So as opposed to most people, I didn't have a negative impact with COVID. I was working as full-time for my uncle doing virtual bookkeeping, and he is located in Chicago. His, unfortunately, business did not survive COVID, but I really realized that I needed to be able to be more flexible and be around for my kids, which comes with the all in balance bookkeeping. It's not just about keeping everybody's books balanced. It's also about keeping life balanced. So if I take over the books, being virtual, I can set my own hours, which allows me to be with my kids. But at the same time, it can take the stress and the pressure off of business owners that are doing that afterwards. So that gives them more time to be flexible.
For sure. Well, we will have that and more with Amanda with All in Balance Bookkeeping after these messages. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I have a buddy. His name is Andreas Ruiz, and he has a story to tell you about IBelieveInMyself.org.
Yeah, so anybody that's interested in a free consultation to chat about their goals and their dreams and how to overcome that self-doubt or fear that is holding them back, feel free to reach out. I can help you create a strategy around that vision to help you with the outcome, the why, and then the action so that you can step into that action so you can pursue your goals and dreams, find your life's purpose, and leave a legacy behind. So if you want, send me an email at ibelievecal@gmail.com, or you can check out my website at IBelieveInMyself.org. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. We will be right back.
Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain here with the Andreas Ruiz of I Believe in Myself.
Yes.
We're ready, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We're all here making happy little bushes and little happy trees.
Happy trees.
Just smiling at each other. Just happy that we're here. Not somewhere else that's not as happy as here, but here.
Yep.
And we have Amanda in studio with us with All in Balance Bookkeeping, who is making bookkeeping a little fun. I didn't think it was going to be able to happen, but so far just kind of like being able to relate to your experience, and I'm sure probably me and Andreas will both circle on this. The two things I took from this: one, you were just like, all right, put me in, coach. I'll learn it, and then I'll master it, and then that's what I do. And that's, in my life, that's the story of my life. We are talking on the show of such thing where it was just like, well, let's do it. Okay, let's see, and then. Secondarily, that I'm not a big fan of math, but there are things that math is involved in them, like even putting together this radio show and getting sponsors involved and everything that's detailed in that takes a lot of numbers, a lot of math, a lot of crunching. So, I can find a place within everything to, appreciate things I didn't even think that I would appreciate. So that's cool that you brought that realization to my mind. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking a little bit about how COVID has impacted your business, and just what changes have you had to make, like, to overcome these challenges, or have you had to make any changes, or has everything stayed the same? Or?
Everything's pretty much stayed the same. The only thing I would say is I had to do a lot of research about like the SBA small business loans and grants and the PPP loans and how that forgiveness process goes and the application process, because I had a lot of clients that they're small businesses. They had no idea how to do any of that, and I didn't either. I mean, this is the first pandemic I've lived through.
Yeah.
So
give it another 100 years, maybe. Yeah.
But that was pretty much the biggest learning curve that I've had thus far due to COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Man, I didn't even consider that. Like I got the PPP loan, so I definitely read that stuff, but I never considered that from your standpoint. Not only do you have to read that stuff, kind of somewhat understand it, you got to be the master of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
and to understand how to allocate it properly, and then to, once it's forgiven or not forgiven, there's a lot more to it than I would have ever thought.
And how has it been with acquiring new skill sets in regards to this type of work? Have you had to have a lot of new skill sets, or how does that change every year?
It doesn't necessarily, the actual skill sets don't change every year, but like as things evolve, like with the pandemic relief, that was a new skill set. QuickBooks and other softwares that I use always have updates, so I do take the training courses that they offer through that. I am a QuickBooks Pro Certified Advisor. I'm not really sure what all that means, but I've taken all the courses and passed the tests. So it's continually learning, and each new business brings different aspects, whether it's cost of service. Restaurants is different than medical, and nonprofits are different than for-profits, obviously. And so, yeah.
Well, the big thing I took from that is, one, two things: you're professional on PPP loans and those kind of new relief loans that exist, and then QuickBooks, teaching people how to do QuickBooks. So I'm guessing those are two kind of just services aside that all-in balance bookkeeping does.
Yes, that is correct. And what I don't know, I will learn how to do.
Yeah, so what you're pretty much doing is you're saving people time by teaching them how to do QuickBooks, by teaching them, or just by doing the stuff for them. And so you're just saving the people time by just giving them hey, this is how you do it. And so that's great that you're doing that for not just people who want you to do the bookkeeping, but also teaching people how to just do it on their own if that's something that they want to go down that avenue or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, having got the PPP loan right when it first came out, pretty much in March, I think March of 2020 I got it, or April 2020, maybe as late as May, but let's put that to the side, the date. What are some of the other relief stuff that business owners maybe have access to that they didn't even realize they had access to? Maybe even that I have access to that I don't even realize I have access to.
There are a lot of grants through the Small Business Administration now. They just opened another one, and you can apply for up to, I believe, it's $500,000. Obviously, that's going to be based on your different type of business, but that's a new one that just opened up a couple of months ago. I want to say May-ish is when it opened. So the Small Business Administration has been really good at getting out information and offering programs to help all these small businesses go through this ongoing pandemic.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I don't know if there is an ideal client, but what would you say would be like an ideal client for, all-in-balance bookkeeping?
just a small business or a nonprofit that's looking for help with their books, for me to take that off their hands, so that's not something that they need to worry about anymore. I'm pretty much open to all genres, so to speak, or all industries. So, yeah,
Nice.
just small business, nonprofits are what I specialize in. But
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and so how can people contact you to get more information about your services and potentially work with you?
I have a website. My website is aibbookkeeping.net. And I also have an email, which is Amanda Reitzel, AmandaReitzell @gmail.com. Or I have a cell phone of 520-661-5854.
Can you repeat that number again? Just so
520-661-5854.
Nice. Excellent.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here with us,
Well,
Amanda.
thank you for having me.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm guessing you'll be hearing Amanda more on this show, so get to know her. She has a real pleasant voice.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
so definitely
definitely.
something for our listening audience. Me and Andreas, we have to put it on. We have to put on our Bob Ross voice to match that tone, but yeah, it'll be nice. And yeah, as she said, go to aibbookkeeping.com.
.net.
.net. And and find out what they have to check out. Also, we're inviting people to go to veteranrescuemission.org. Also, go to 1118 North Jones Boulevard. If you haven't been there yet, that's where Veteran Thrift is located, in which all the proceeds go to our homeless veteran transition program, Veteran Rescue Mission, to help us better shelter and connect veterans with housing and benefits. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McLean, here with Andreas Ruiz of I Believe in Myself Coaching and Motivation. If you're looking for motivation in your life, go to ibelieveinmyself.org. Those who haven't heard of the Veteran Rescue Mission program, we have been operating since April of 2017, and we've housed and sheltered over 300 people. We go out and locate unhoused veterans on the streets. We get them back to our property, provide them with shelter, with food, and the necessary needs, and we help connect them with the benefits that they need, whether that is income or that's housing or that's going back to school or connecting them with family, whatever it takes to kind of, as we say in the military, square away our fellow brothers. That's veteranrescuemission.org. If you want to find out our other programs, we have awesome stuff like Veteran Thrift, this very radio show, and a lot of good stuff. We certainly have an awesome another 30 minutes for you before we go on the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. We have here with us, which I'm excited. I mean, because there's something about having insurance companies on this show that just brings the noise. I don't know. You wouldn't think that that'd be the group, but they just do. Particularly like Ed Marquez, that dude. Am I saying his name right?
Edmund Marquez.
Yeah, Edmund.
Yeah.
I'm calling him
I think
Ed,
he was
like
here
we're
back in
buddies,
January,
but-
right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a powerhouse. And once again, like I was saying earlier in the show, you brought another powerhouse.
Absolutely.
So thank you,
Yes.
Andreas, for being awesome and just always bringing powerhouses on the
man,
show.
absolutely.
God
Yeah,
bless
definitely.
you.
God bless you too, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Man.
Yeah.
So
Now we have a great guest. I met her at one of the networking events. I think it was at the group, and we just really just connected, and I really like her attitude. Just really good person, and I really like what she does as well for the community. And so we have Brittany. I want to say, let me see if I'm saying this right. Lene. Yes,
That's
I'm good.
yeah.
Gutman with Allstate.
Yeah, he's the guy who I have say the names because I am a name
know,
butcher.
yeah,
Like I should really start like a butcher shop, and I'm just hanging names
Yeah,
all
man,
around
for
the
sure.
place because that's what I do. I
Yeah, you
butcher
always
names.
especially with never mind.
Yeah.
Good job, though.
Yeah.
So we have her here.
I can do all the other stuff just fine, though. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And she's with Allstate. She's just became a new owner of one of the locations here in Tucson, and I'm just so grateful to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
That's super
for
cool.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. May I add that you always bring around impressive women.
I know, man.
You really do. Yeah,
we
you're
have,
another
we've had,
impressive
honestly,
woman.
we've had like 90% of women
Mhm.
on the show. I think
Yeah.
It just powerhouses that I'm really impressed by. I just get to meet a lot of really powerful women that are really doing something great for the community.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
including Brittany. So, so let's get down to it, Brittany. So we've all heard of Allstate, but tell us, for anybody out there that doesn't know what Allstate does, what does Allstate do, and what does your Allstate company do?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we're branded by Allstate, the company. Allstate's a number 70 in the Fortune 500 ranking as of 2021.
Oh, wow.
That's a good ranking.
Dang.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Yeah. And I stand behind our company in the way that we serve. Currently, we have agents with compassionate hearts all over the country helping with Hurricane Ida and helping with the fires in Lake Tahoe, and just trying to be that national brand that is so local in the community. And you kind of asked a 2-point question, and that's where I think each Allstate agency serves a different purpose. And in my agency, we specialize in the Oro Valley community, Tucson community, of course. I also have a nonprofit that I stand behind called the Kindness Revolution.
Nice.
And, really just a pay it forward concept and keeping local presence and supporting local community is something that's very valuable to me and rewarding for me to give back in the community.
Nice. Well, tell us more about the Kindness Revolution.
Yeah.
I know you didn't expect this, but you said it, so I
didn't.
want to hear
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
I know. I was like, should I go there?
Yeah, no, go there. Go there. This is the
Yeah.
Common Good radio
do it,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, so the Kindness Revolution stumbled upon me, and it's ran by Ed Horrell, and he's world-renowned, very wonderful businessman, all about the pay it forward concept and making a difference, specifically in the lives of children, which is where I think Andres and I really kind of connected originally, just trying to change the footprint that our people are making in the world by acknowledging kindness, sharing kindness, rewarding kindness.
I like that.
Yeah. And as businesses, it's something that I like to share too, because I have money, but it only goes so far. So if we can get other businesses involved in a bigger dream, everybody's money goes a little bit further than mine does, So
Nice.
something I'm very passionate about. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, that's awesome. And that definitely, we want to show our kids kindness. We want to, especially the next generation, man, empathy, compassion are now, I really think that those are skill sets as well. Just like we talked about happiness being a skill set, compassion and empathy are skill sets as well. So thank you for doing that. And so what got you interested in becoming an Allstate agent and now owner?
Well, I've been in the insurance industry for 15 years, which I don't know how young and youthful I sound
like
on
10
the
years
radio.
old or something like that.
But I'll be 32 this year. So I started when I was very young,
Nice.
17, and I've enjoyed the building relationships with customers over the years. And during the pandemic of last year, I was in a different career where I was working with employee benefits. And when COVID hit, employee benefits kind of went away. And so I had an opportunity where someone wanted me to become the agency of a book of business that they grew for a long time. And they chose me to do that. And I feel really blessed.
That's awesome. Yeah. And how has it been so far? Like with you being an owner, how has that experience been so far for you?
Oh, it's so rewarding. If I could have done it sooner, I would have, but I know that time is of the essence and patience is a virtue, and the stars weren't aligned yet. And it was perfect timing, and everything thus far has been a blessing. And I know it's definitely the path that I'm destined to be on.
Nice.
Love
That's
that.
nice when you have that. Yeah. I
definitely.
know me and Andreas talk about it a lot, how we feel that way with what we do. And
man.
it's cool that you have that. And I can imagine your clients feel that through the way that you serve them. So
Wow, that's smart. That's what we hope for.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, we will be speaking with Brittany more after the break. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. If you guys haven't been to veteranrescuemission.org, please do. Right now, we're asking for donation of cars to veterans that we have in our program to be able to get them to their appointments, to their jobs, to get some level of income in their lives. thankfully right now the buses, I believe it's still free, so they're okay. But their bus isn't always going to be free, and definitely getting a car would make their lives a lot easier. And just for the homeless veteran transition program as a whole, we're also always looking for any type of donations you have. Big question people ask us with the veteran thrift store is like, what could you guys take? We can take anything. We shelter people, we help people get housed, so we got to get their apartments filled up. And then we also, any money that we make goes right back into helping build our homeless veteran transition center. So go to veteranrescuemission.org and donate whatever you can. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by that very Veteran Rescue Mission.
Rescue Mission. I am Andres, your coach and speaker, alongside Pastor John McClain, and we have an amazing guest, Brittany Lene Gutman with Allstate, and
Like a champ. So smooth. Just
yes,
so smooth.
yes.
I never ask you enough, but how does it feel every time you say, I'm a speaker and a coach?
Yeah, sometimes I can't believe it. Honestly, I'm like, really? Oh man, I'm actually doing that.
The power of that. Yeah.
The power of what you speak, man. Your words have power. You can really speak a lot of things into existence. I believe that. And just like we have Brittany here, who pretty much spoke into existence, becoming an owner, and 32.
Beautiful segue.
Such an early.
Well done, Andreas.
I get is it a Grammy or an Oscar? I don't know.
Either.
Yeah,
you get them both.
Yeah, man. But yeah, just and just at such a young age, 32. She started when she was 8, and then now she's 32 and has her own agents. So just getting back into the questions, like just how has COVID impacted your business? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think COVID has impacted many businesses. Fortunately, insurance is not something you can get away from. And so,
I try. No matter how much you try.
Yeah.
The thing say, like, you got to get an SR22. And I'm like, I don't want to get an SR22.
Why are my rates so high?
Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, I think ultimately just the comfortability and what's right and what's acceptable. We take precautions and we do what is comfortable for people, and I think that helps our business continue in a really seamless way. But overall, I specialize in employee benefits, and again, COVID has impacted that part of my business, but ultimately I think we've persevered.
Interesting. So which, I mean, thankfully or luckily, I guess it's just kind of like maybe even a mind frame thing with the different people that we have on this show, where we don't have too many people that come on this show and be like, yeah, the COVID devastated my business.
I know,
and I
yeah.
just really don't know how I recovered, and it was horrible. Most of them were just like, well, I mean, in a lot of cases, actually, even like, actually, my business did a little bit better, and we adjusted, and a lot of the changes that we thought we were going to have to make one day anyways, we made, and this is what it is. I think probably the biggest complaint we had is from Dr. J and the Tucson International Academy people, where they went from not being in school in person to virtual school and all these other different changes.
I think for all schools that was a big challenge for sure, and I think for parents too, just having the kids in the house all day.
I think that's the COVID motto, is making adjustments.
Yes, yeah. You have to pivot, I guess.
Learning the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. Learning about yourself too. So I learned a lot about myself for sure. So with these changes, how have you, how do you overcome these challenges? Like
particularly around, like, I can imagine the business side of things, like you're mentioning, like, it was a completely different environment for a lot of businesses, like restaurants and stuff that didn't have, any employees at all for quite a while. So, how did you adjust to, one, that lack of business, and two, how did you adjust to, either losing and regaining that business, or just make, those little adjustments to those challenges?
Allstate as a company did a really wonderful job in offering grace of I think 120 days, 180 days, extending that, thus further for the businesses that were going through the filing of the PPP paperwork, and, priorities were not in their employee benefits, it was in their employees' lives.
Wow.
And so I think we did the best that we could do given that time frame. And now we've really learned how to utilize technology, like I think
Yeah.
everybody has.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And in fact, maybe a decade too late. I mean,
Mm.
it was
Mhm.
something that we needed to do, and it's maximized a lot of business owners, not just in insurance. The whole technology platform. So I think we've overcome those things by utilizing things that we hadn't had to in the past.
Mm.
Then that's cool that Allstate, what they do for the people, that just shows their integrity and just how they are such a, they really care, and showing that compassion, that empathy for the people who are really struggling. And how has that helped you with yourself personally and with your employees to bring that empathy, that compassion for, your people?
I do believe that it all starts with us and what we, like you were talking earlier about speaking things and manifestation,
Mm.
we live by the kindness revolution. And so
Nice.
starting with the footprint of what we can do, and seeing what Allstate is doing as a company and being able to be a reflection of some of those things, but personalize it for something that Brittany wants to impact in our community. But on a grand scale, Allstate's a large company, and we do the best that we can. Nationally, I want to say that they've done a really good job in dealing with all of the different circumstances in all of the United States. So on a local scale, we're just trying to understand what people are going through right here in our neighborhoods
Mhm.
There you
and
go.
relate. That's our most compassionate way that we can be testimony to what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, just the kind of question that comes to mind right now, hopefully it's not too much of a fastball, but what indifferates your agency from the other agencies in the county or in the city? What can people expect differently?
That's a fastball I'm prepared for because
Okay, I know,
it's-
I told you I wouldn't hurt you.
yeah, well, that's the cool thing about being branded by a company like Allstate, but having the entrepreneurship, business independence, in that I can be different than the insurance agency up the street. And not to discredit any other Allstate agent,
Absolutely not, yeah. We
but
love them all.
my stance is authenticity and
Mm-hmm.
genuine sales. If we're talking sales, we're not pushy salespeople. We relate, we create rapport. For us, it's about community involvement. I would rather not someone come to me and say, "Hey, can you beat my price?" Because the likelihood of that conversation happening with somebody else in a year is pretty high. So I want to earn your business. I want you to see the value and why Tucson is my home and why it's important to me and why you belong with my agency, because there is a difference. And those are the clients that I want that still believe in the importance of having an agent and sticking to what you're good at. You're not the pro. And I'm not a radio pro.
Oh, yeah? No, you're pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're pretty natural.
sure.
I'll just add it to my
Where's
resume.
There you
where's
go.
your
Yeah.
office located at?
My office is located in Oral Valley.
Okay.
Uh,
Andreas is going to live there next year.
wow, it's
Yeah.
a great community.
He's
Yeah.
decided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We're
It is.
just past the El Conquistador on
Yeah.
Oracle Road.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's-
say
it's
that
beautiful
just,
out there.
but for real, because me and Andreas, we do this exercise every morning where we visualize what we're going to have in a year. So buying a house in Oral Valley is one of his. I want to buy a house in Hawaii. I think that's 2 years, though. I'm visualizing that out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow,
So-
that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah, we've already seen it. So, yeah,
You
it's
can
an
hold it in
exercise
your
we do
mind. You
every
can hold it in your hand. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So so tell us, who's your ideal client for the listeners out there that are interested in Allstate, and so they can know exactly who you serve.
I think another thing that I adore is that my roots are from Wisconsin, and being in Oral Valley, I have a lot of people who migrate or transplant, have dual states, and I really do connect with my cheese heads, and so
Nice.
I love the golfers and the retirees, and that's my community. And
Nice.
But, ultimately, I know it's not the networking thing to say is everybody is my person, but opportunity, people who are open-minded, I just give us a chance. Allstate's known to be a conservative, high-priced company, but I think things are different now.
I like that. Yeah. And so for anybody that, is interested, like where can they contact you? You can give us your websites, your email, and maybe your telephone number where they can reach you.
Sure. I can be found on Facebook, also under the Kindness Revolution, led by Brittany Lene Gutman. I also have my Allstate agency site, or I can be emailed, bgutman@allstate.com, or 520-797-7811 is my agency phone number.
All right.
Say the number again. Yeah.
797-7811.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah. Usually you're really good about telling them to do that. But
Yeah. Just a reminder, just so
beat you to
people
the
can hear.
punch.
I know
was
you
like,
did, man.
All right, say the number
Yeah.
again because they weren't really even listening.
797-7811.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say. I'm just kidding.
No, you're
Okay, actually, but really the website again.
Yes.
My email?
That website.
Oh, the Kindness Revolution?
No,
Brittany Gutman at Allstate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can just, my name is uniquely spelled Brittni.
Okay.
And I can be found at allstate.com. Or
Cool.
just type in 85704 is my zip code, and it should plant you right to me.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we just want them to find you, particularly one, the cheeseheads, and two, the transplants. Like,
Oh,
yeah. I've been here for
And the
20
golfers,
years,
yeah.
but just like you saying that makes me think, okay, maybe I should go see her. She understands me,
I
so-
might have sent away a few Vikings fans, or
Maybe. Well,
yeah.
we don't. You don't want them anyways, right?
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, definitely check out Brittany Gutman with Allstate 85704. You said plug that in on the Allstate website to find her. Also, you can find her on Facebook as well as the Kindness Movement.
Kindness Revolution.
The Kindness Revolution. We have to
Yes.
talk about that afterwards. So I'll definitely give you my card. And then, definitely check her out. You will have a relationship with an insurance agent like you've always wanted.
There you
right?
go.
Wow.
That's your
I'll pay you later.
Yeah, you got it. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain here with Andrea Shuey.